In this video, we will learn about central nervous system, that is CNS. Central nervous system plays a very important role in integration of information that it receives from various sense organs. So it processes information received from receptors and passes instructions to the effector organ regarding how to respond. Mainly, the CNS is made up of brain and spinal cord. So here the brain and spinal cord have a continuous connection and they form the core of nervous system. Now, the central nervous system's first organ is brain. So the brain is the controlling part of the nervous system. So it has to be protected. It is very important structure. So it has several protection. One is a three membrane structure known as meninges, which forms the innermost protective layer, and it is enclosed in a bony brain case known as cranium or skull. So skull will be the outermost, which protects from mechanical injury and so on. Meninges protects from inside. Now the brain has three main parts. One is the cerebrum, second cerebellum, and we have medulla oblongata. So cerebrum, if we observe here, is the largest structure in the human brain, and cerebellum is the second largest, and other structures are little smaller compared to these two. Now first structure is the cerebrum. Cerebrum is the largest and most highly developed part of the brain, and it can be divided into two halves. That is, if we see here, it can be divided into right and left half, and this will have a deep groove or depression in the middle. These halves of the brain are called as cerebral hemispheres. So we have left hemisphere and right hemisphere. Each cerebral hemisphere is hollow. The layer of gray matter in its wall is highly folded and has large number of neurons. So if I have foldings like this, so that means the area will be more, surface area is more, the structures that can be accommodated will be more. So that is why we'll have high foldings in the cerebrum. The folds and grooves are called as gyri and sulci respectively. Now, if we see the functional part, it is the seat of intelligence, consciousness, and willpower. It will control our reasoning power, instinct, thinking, learning and memorizing, feeling of love, hatred, and appreciation. So, majority of our daily work is taken care by cerebrum. Cerebrum is also responsible for sensory perception of sight, hearing, taste, smell, pain, pressure, temperature, and touch. Basically, a sense organ sensing part. Next, we have the cerebellum, the second largest part, also known as the little brain. It is located at the back of the cerebrum and it's partially overlapped by it for a small part. And main function includes coordinating voluntary movements of body, controlling activities of voluntary muscles, and maintaining body balance during walking, swimming, jumping, and running. So if cerebellum gets affected, I will not be able to balance my body properly, and that is when we fall. Next structure is medulla oblongata. It is located at the posterior most part of the brain and it is called as brain stem. Now, if we see function, medulla is responsible for involuntary activities. So, whatever you think of, like breathing, heartbeat, so involuntary movement of food through the digestive tract, etc. So, it regulates my breathing movement, beating of heart, swallowing, and peristaltic movements of alimentary canal. Any injury to this part will affect all involuntary activities and thus result in death of the person. So imagine the breathing movement gets affected. So breathing will be very difficult and beating of heart will get affected. So obviously two important organs are getting affected. So that will lead to immediate death of the person. Next part of CNS is the spinal cord. Spinal cord is a rod-like structure running through the hole in the backbone. So it extends from medulla of the brain up to the lumbar region through the neural canal of vertebral column. Lumbar region is our tail region. Now, neural canal of vertebral column means the backbone has a bony structure, and within this bony structure we'll have a small hole here through which our spinal cord will run from the medulla part to lumbar region. Now, the backbone, also known as vertebral column, protects the spinal cord from injury. Just like brain is protected by cranium or skull, the spinal cord is protected by backbone. And if we observe in the section of the spinal cord, here we can observe it forms a H-shaped structure in the middle. Yes. Now, the arrangement of gray and white matter is different in spinal cord. In the brain, we saw that the gray matter is on the outside and white matter is on the inside. In the spinal cord, it is opposite. The gray matter is on the centrally located part, which is in H-shaped structure or region, and white matter forms the peripheral layer. Now, functions of spinal cord, if we take, it controls all types of reflex actions. It mediates involuntary activities like heartbeat, secretion of glands, breathing movement, etc. It conducts sensory impulses from the body to the brain and motor impulses from the brain to muscles. So it actually acts as a medium between brain and all the sensory organs and other parts of the body. I hope it is clear to you. Thank you.